going on, Dragon Ball fans? Welcome back to another episode of this week's Dragon Ball Q&A session, where today, guys, we have lots of awesome Dragon Ball related questions to go through. So I want you guys to keep in mind, number one, if your question does not get answered or featured in this video, that is okay. There's always going to be another video following this, so if you guys have any sort of Dragon Ball related question to ask me, then simply drop your questions down below. And of course, if you guys differ from my opinion in this video, I want to know your thoughts on various questions. So if you guys feel as if you want to answer the questions in the comments, feel free to do so. Again, everybody, I want to say thank you all for watching this edition. If you guys would kindly leave a like on this video, and of course, if you guys are new to subscribe, make sure to do that. It really supports the channel. So thank you all for watching. Again, let's begin with our very first question of the day, and it is from the Dark Project 86. Wow, it sounds very mysterious. Hello, Unreal. I stumbled across your channel after reviewing and looking at multiple videos on this channel. I instantly subscribed for the concept of loving the same things as I do, i.e. Dragon Ball, horror, video games / movies. And you are a very unique person, and your video presentation is unlike any other. Nobody, I believe, talks to their viewers like you do. Video and comment section. I'm sorry for taking up too much time with this, but I wanted to say that you are very kind. You're a very kind soul, and I love your view on the world and much of what you do. Thank you. Wow. So you may or may not see this, but here are my Dragon Ball related questions, sir. Ooh, don't call me sir, bro. It makes me feel like I'm 90 years old. Question number one. Would it be possible for the Omni King to destroy Zamasu's fusion with little to no effort needed, and if so, what would that mean about his power? How deep are his roots and tests of strength? Question number two, will the Omni King, in your opinion, show up to confront the people involved in this arc, i.e. Gowasu, Beerus, and Goku? Question number three, with Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super now tied in episodes, which do you believe is more enjoyable? Question number four, why is the concept of Zamasu's fusion so basic? Okay, oh boy, people are going to have a lot to say about that one. Thank you for responding, and enjoy the rest of your night / day / evening / morning, sir. Michael. Well, Michael, please don't call me sir. It makes me feel as if I'm 50 years old. But I thank you so much for the questions, and I'm truly trying to wonder like what that profile picture is. I think it's Alien and Predator, maybe. I could be wrong. Now, to answer your first question, and again, if you guys feel as if you guys differ from my opinion, just comment down below. Now, would it be possible for the Omni King to destroy Zamasu's fusion with little to no effort needed? In my opinion, yes, and this is why I say why. Now, we had Beerus talk to Goku and Vegeta about how the Omni King at one point destroyed 6 universes just because he was in a bad mood. Can you imagine, first of all, how strong you have to be to destroy 1 universe, let alone 6? So I think it's without question that the Omni King would completely eradicate Zamasu's fusion. Even though the Omni King isn't really said to be a fighter per se, he does sit at the very top of the rankings amongst the gods, amongst the angels, and I don't think it's just his authority. I think it's the overall presence and the power that he emits that he's not showing that puts fear in everyone's heart. So in my opinion, I think the Omni King would not just completely eradicate Zamasu's fusion, but it'll be as if Zamasu's fusion never even existed. Now, there are going to be several people in the comment section talking about, well, how could you say that? Because the Omni King never really displayed any feats of strength. That is true. But going back and seeing how the reaction of the gods of destructions were when they were all in panic mode when he first arrived at the Universal Tournament, when we saw how he spoke to Beerus, and Beerus pretty much was shook out of his core, and we saw how Whis was explaining how he destroyed 6 universes, despite how strong Zamasu's fusion may be. And again, tomorrow we're gonna have Dragon Ball Super episode 65 air, which is gonna be very cool to watch. I still think, regardless of any sort of situation, any sort of outcome, the Omni King would destroy Zamasu's fusion easily, which I'm kind of happy that the Omni King isn't really a part of this arc yet, at least, because that'll really be an easy way out, in my opinion, to see the Omni King just show up via, the button being pressed that he gave to Goku, and then just him having to be the hero of the story per se and destroying Zamasu's fusion. So I'm actually quite happy that he's not a part of this. But then again, some people are going to be like, well, we do want to see the Omni King because he's cool. I understand, the whole cool factor behind him, but if he were to engage in any sort of battle against anyone, it'll be a very one-sided battle. Now, to answer your second question, will the Omni King, in my opinion, appear to confront the people involved in this arc, like Gowasu, Beerus, and Goku? Well, I do think that maybe, just like we saw towards the end of the Universal Tournament, the Omni King might show up and start questioning people. He might question Goku or Beerus or Gowasu as to what was going on. He might have known that Goku was time traveling, or perhaps maybe Gowasu was, or even the state of like the status of the future universe. I mean, who's to say perhaps that the Omni King isn't really aware of everything that went down? So I'm pretty sure that, in my opinion, the Omni King was definitely aware of everything, because if you're supposed to be called the Omni King, you're supposed to be a being that's omnipresent, omnipotent. So I think that there is nothing that the Omni King doesn't know about. So I'm pretty sure that he may know about this, but either he just doesn't care because he already has people in higher positions, such as Beerus or whatnot, to settle the score just in case something happens. Or if he does show up, he might just ask, so what's this whole time traveling business going on? So he might put a ban on Trunks for using the time machine, because keep in mind, I mean, Beerus and Whis even told Trunks that time traveling is a special privilege only appointed to gods. And you guys can go back and rewatch the episodes, or at least go back to watch the entire arc, which I highly recommend, on Crunchyroll.com, and just see for yourselves the conversation that went down. And so, will the Omni King appear? Maybe. He might appear again just to remind Goku about the Omni tournament that's coming, but then again, he also might show up just to see how Goku's doing, or at least check up on Beerus and whatnot. But I think if anything, we're definitely going to see him again. Now, to answer your third question, Dragon Ball GT versus Dragon Ball Super. If anybody out there feels the need to side over one over the other, you guys can do that in the comments, but I am enjoying Dragon Ball Super more, and here's why. In Dragon Ball GT, they didn't give us too much, but they gave us things that didn't really make sense or didn't need to fit within the mold of Dragon Ball GT, i.e. Kid Goku throughout the entire series, i.e. Omega Shenron being defeated so easily. We had villains that were kind of like flatlined in a way, whereas opposed to this, so far we only had Golden Frieza and Zamasu and Black. But Zamasu and Black alongside Frieza have demonstrated, you know, feats of strength unlike any other in GT. And what I mean by that is, I think that the only character in Dragon Ball GT in terms of villains to ever show any sort of like sign of like destruction and devastation and power was Baby, because Baby controlled everybody. Baby had Goku beaten. Goku had to go to the Supreme Kai and to the other world to request for his tail to be pulled, and then had to go through the entire process of becoming Super Saiyan 4. So that was some serious business. However, we see that how Black is able to travel throughout time. He eliminated all the gods. We see how Zamasu's mentality and views on humanity is just morbid and twisted and just absolutely, psychotic in a way. And we see how Golden Frieza, when he fought Goku and Vegeta, also displayed a level of psychoticness because he blew up the entire planet out of desperation. So I also favor Dragon Ball Super because it's very dramatic, and we do have moments to where it's really intense, but then they also pull back a little bit because they don't want to give us too much. So in my opinion, just to cut this a little short, because I'm gonna make a separate video about this, I am currently enjoying Dragon Ball Super more because of the story buildup and the way the characters are being executed. Not every character, but most. If you guys seem to enjoy GT more, comment down below and let me know. Now, to answer your final question, why is the concept of Zamasu's fusion so basic? Well, Akira Toriyama loves characters that aren't really too diverse or dynamic when it comes to features. Yeah, sure, I mean, we saw how Omega Shenron looked like and Super Saiyan 4, but Akira was always known to keep his characters basic. Everyone had sort of like a slim build. Everyone had, at least some sort of color redesign or whatnot. Like, it was nothing too crazy to where they looked like some of these fanfic pictures, which again, I do discredit, some concepts from Akira Toriyama, because I feel as if certain people, i.e. Zamasu's fusion, had to have looked a little bit more different and more intense, because having a villain or a protagonist look very dangerous in terms of appearance does create more suspense for the character. So what I mean is, why is the concept of Zamasu's fusion so basic? Well, because I don't think they wanted to put too much into how he looked like, but more or less what he does in terms of battle. I would have loved to see him look a little bit more different, a little bit more ferocious, but that's just my concept on Zamasu's fusion. Do I have a problem with the way he looks like? Probably not, because I'm waiting to see what he can do. But I would have definitely added more detail, and I would have made this dude look a lot more terrifying than what he does now, because so far, we've been getting tons of, color reskins, and we've been getting like tons of like slim builds. There is no character out there that looks very interesting in design or something unique that we've never seen before, because they all pretty much look the same. But I think at this point, we're gonna have to accept that, because that's just the way that's just the way Akira Toriyama likes to do or draw his designs up. I mean, the fans and the artists of the Dragon Ball community may differ, and they may have like their own variations of how Zamasu's fusion may look like, and that's always cool and whatnot. But the reason why I think that Zamasu's fusion is basic in essence is because that's just the way Akira Toriyama wants it, and that's just the way that Akira Toriyama wants to keep it. So, but anyways, Mr. Dark Projects, thank you for the question, and I hope you have a very awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Braun Strowman. Wow. Hey, I'm new to this channel and I'm from New Zealand. Wow, thank you for that. That's quite a far away. I have 2 questions for you. Question number 1, if you were a character in Dragon Ball Z, what race would you be? Question number 2, with you as that race, who would you fuse with? Well, thank you for the questions, by the way. Now, simply put, if I had to choose a race, I would be a Saiyan. I don't think anyone else would choose differently, unless, of course, you want to become a Frieza Clan's race member or maybe a Majin or whatnot. But I would want to be a Saiyan just because of their feats of strength and how fast they improve. So I would definitely want to be a Saiyan. And to answer your final question, with what race would I want to fuse with? Well, that's kind of a difficult question because, I mean, I guess the most logical sense to, you know, put in here is to fuse with a Kai, per se. Just for the obvious reasons of having divine power and doing what Zamasu did, you get what I'm saying? But if I had to choose a specific race, I would probably choose a Saiyan race, because having a Saiyan fuse with a Saiyan, I believe at least, would be the purest form of fusion, instead of just fusing with like a Namekian or a Majin. So I would want to do what Goku and Vegeta did and just fuse with one another. So, but anyways, Braun Strowman, thank you for the questions and good luck at Survivor Series, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Nox. Question number 1, is Rikon ever going to get a new transformation? Because I really love your character, bro. He's a beast. Thank you. I hope someone strong can fuse with him. Oh boy, do I have an answer for that. Question number 2, do you think that Haruta God would be one of the DLCs for expert missions? Question number 3, what is your favorite transformation out of Dragon Ball and why? You're my favorite YouTuber. I love you, man. Shout out to Rikon, and please add me on PS4, Hard Knocks, Trade 66. Well, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the kind words. Now, to answer your first question, right? I am going to make, by the end of the year, of course, an official story video on Rikon. I made one before telling you like his backstory, but I'm also kind of having a hard time choosing whether or not he sticks to the concept of having his Super Saiyan 4 form, or if I'm going to make him, you know, become a Super Saiyan God. Now, I want to know down below either hashtag hybrid Super Saiyan 4 or hashtag Super Saiyan God. And the reason for that is because I do have a couple of things coming in which case I'm going to showcase to you guys, where Rikon actually is the god of destruction of Universe 12. And when you guys see that picture that I'm going to release really soon, your mind will be blown. So make sure you guys follow me at Instagram at UnrealDBZ and on my Twitter, because once I put that picture out, you guys are going to get just your minds blown. But in terms of him having other transformations, yes, he will. So far in my story, I was thinking about having the entire thing take place after Dragon Ball Z's battle with Kid Buu, but I just might go ahead and revamp everything per se, because Super Saiyan 4 was supposed to be the first thing introduced coming off of the Kid Buu fight, because we've never really seen Super Saiyan 4 introduced other than GT. So how awesome would it have been if Goku and Vegeta came across a person who had a power level even higher than Super Saiyan 3 at that time? But of course, with Beerus' introduction with Whis and whatnot, I'm definitely going to change that around. So I'm definitely going to have Rikon achieve higher transformations. Now, to answer your second question, Haruta God in the DLC expert mission. I would like that. I mean, I think we all would, but I don't think they ought to make him be easy per se, because if he's made out to be an easy-ass villain to fight, then I think, in my opinion, that'll really suck and take away so much from the character, because these expert missions, despite what anyone says, they're relatively easy. They're not like difficult things to accomplish. So that's what kind of like pisses me off, because I would love to see Haruta God and Baby per se versus like 6 of us or whatever. Like, you get what I'm saying? Have more than just one character on the screen. But of course, I really doubt they're going to do that. But having Haruta God be a part of Xenoverse 2 would be great. It's just a matter of, you know, if they're going to do it or not. Now, to answer your final question, my favorite transformation in Dragon Ball, I think I have 2. It's Super Saiyan 3, because Super Saiyan 3, when Goku achieved it, it was freaking bananas. Even when Gotenks first transformed, I love the whole aura, the whole, you know, they become a little bit more bulkier, they have a deeper voice, their hair is long as shit, and also Super Saiyan Blue. So my 2 favorite transformations are Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan Blue, at least for me, of course. So anyways, Nox, once again, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a fantastic day, my friend. Now moving on to the next question, which is from Rikon 2004, hashtag UnrealEntGaming. Love your channel, bro. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. And you are very kind, and I never miss a single one of your videos. Well, I mean, for that, I gotta say thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate the hospitality. Thank you so much. I just got one question, okay. Do you think Goku and Vegeta will stay as Vegito till the Omniverse tournament? Because if they're fused, they'll have a bigger chance of beating really powerful opponents. Good question, but no, they will not remain as Vegito. And the reason why I say that is because Goku and Vegeta, they want to grow as individuals. There is no point in them growing as a single unit per se as Vegito would, because although they would stand a much better chance of defeating people that are, you know, really powerful, even quite possibly more powerful than them, I think it's in Goku and Vegeta's nature to always fight alone. They've always been people to train alone, fight alone, and for those very reasons, I don't think that Goku and Vegeta will ever have some sort of a neutral agreement to where they're going to combine their powers and participate in something when knowing that they can easily improve as individuals, or as opposed to improving as a fusion. So I think everyone wants to see them fight as individuals as well. Depending on how long this Omni tournament lasts, it's bound to be a very just huge tournament. This is going to be on a much bigger scale than the Universal God Destruction Tournament. So I think that, yes, they ought to fuse as Vegito because it'll give them a huge advantage. However, we don't know if fusion is going to be banned. We don't know if Goku and Vegeta will agree to doing such a thing. And even knowing that, you know, somebody like Hit might return, or even people even more powerful than Hit might be involved in this, like it's a pretty wild concept. You get what I'm saying? So I think that having Vegito participate would be awesome to see. Even though I think Vegito would clear, I think at least 80% of the fighters there. At the same time, there's that 20% of fighters that could be way more powerful than Vegito could ever be. So that's the line of concern. It's like, can Goku and Vegeta achieve that or beat those people as individuals, or as opposed to being a fusion? If you guys believe that remaining a fusion in the Omniverse tournament would be a good thing, comment down below. If you guys don't, then also let me know as to why not, because I just feel as if they ought to fight separately until, you know, something happens to where they're forced to fuse. And again, I've said it dozens of times, I think that, you know, those two ought to have fused during this arc with Black and Zamasu, because it would have made more sense. Even though right now it's not looking like it's going to happen, maybe, depending on if spoilers came out or not. I just feel as if Vegito would be a definite plus for Universe 7 if they participated in the tournament, but I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. But anyways, my friend, thank you for the question, and I hope you have a great day, bro. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Drop Dead Debater. Hey Alex, you are by far the best Dragon Ball YouTuber on YouTube. Thank you, man. I always turn to you for answers, and I wish you both this and the channel the best. Thank you so much, man. That really means a lot to me. God bless you. Question number 1. If Zamasu made his own version of Super Saiyan / Super Saiyan Blue and Kamehameha, can he make his own variation of Kaioken and Spirit Bomb? Are you talking about Black? Because Zamasu doesn't know that. Question 2, since Gohan has picked up on training with Piccolo, could he get strong enough to fight in the multiverse tournament? Question 3, if GT took place after Super or in an alternate timeline, how would you make it canon? Ooh, good question. Question 4, if you could make one DBZ movie character canon and give them their own saga, who would it be? I think we all know that one, but brutally. Question number 5, which non-canon Potara fusion would be stronger? Gohan and Goku, or Vegeta and Trunks? Well, thank you for the questions, by the way, and thank you for the warm comment. Now, to answer your first question, Zamasu did not make his own variation of Super Saiyan Blue / Super Saiyan / Kamehameha. Black nearly adapted, you know, whatever was retained from Goku's body, and since, you know, he is intercepting someone's body and soul and DNA and whatnot, like, he, obviously enough, he has the ability, I believe, to masquerade and create his own ki energy and his own, you know, color of Kamehameha. So I don't think it would fit Black to have a blue version of the Kamehameha wave, and given the fact that Zamasu's ki is negative in essence, it's not really positive per se, it made sense for the Kamehameha to look dark and pinkish and whatnot, purple. But I think that if you're talking about Black being able to make his own variation of Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, then yes. In terms of Kaioken, I've often said it before. If if Black is supposed to be the Goku that his body, his soul, and all of his DNA is in there and whatnot, so why wouldn't it make sense for him to know all of Goku's techniques, all of Goku's moves? So I think that that also includes Kaioken and whatnot. So I do think that Black is able to transform and use Kaioken, but I don't think that he necessarily knows how to do it until Goku does it for himself, or at least demonstrates that per se. But the Spirit Bomb is a different story. I don't think that Black is able to do that, because I think you're supposed to be pure-hearted to do that, and I think that you're supposed to be requiring the energy of like all the plants and the animals and stuff, and I don't think that Black would care too much about the plants and the animals and the planets around the solar system for him to gather any sort of energy. So in terms of Spirit Bomb, I would have to say no. That's just my opinion. If you guys differ, let me know. But in terms of Kaioken, then yes. And wouldn't that be something to see? Super Saiyan Rose Kaioken Goku. Holy shit. To answer your second question, since Gohan has picked up training with Piccolo, could he participate in the Multiverse Tournament? It's a possibility, but I don't see it happening for the sole reason that thus far he's stuck with his morals of being a father. He's stuck with his morals of being a husband. He has his own obligations to work for. He has various other things to achieve and do. And I don't think that it's in Gohan's benefit to participate, especially how weak he is now. If Gohan participated in this Omniverse tournament, he would get his teeth kicked in. Even if he trained for an X amount of time, who's to really say that he would become what he once was, or if not stronger? I mean, it's not impossible to say so, because if he trained with Goku and Whis and whatever, then yeah, I mean the chances are very high. But I don't see him doing it, to be honest. And it sucks because I want to see Gohan do something for once, but I don't think he is, man. If anything, maybe the whole Trunks situation of him finding out what happened could have been a wake-up call, but in terms of him participating, I don't think so, bro. Now, to answer your third question, would I make GT canon? Actually, this might sound weird, but I would definitely make GT canon to the point where I would have Whis talk to Goku about parallel stuff and alternate dimensions, and I would have Whis show Goku and Vegeta through his little staff that in another timeline, if Beerus never showed up, if Whis never showed up, if like this whole thing with Frieza never happened, this would be the result of, their life. And I would have him show Goku and Vegeta that alternate timeline to where Goku's like, hey, what's that? Like, what's that transformation we have? And Whis can be like, I don't know. It's definitely not Super Saiyan God, so I'm guessing that you guys ascended past your, previous transformations and you guys became a Super Saiyan 4 in this timeline. So Goku can be like, wow, so there is such thing as a Super Saiyan 4? And then Whis can be like, well, yeah, you guys battled this person, this person, this person. This is the end result of what would have happened if we never came and stuff. That would have been really cool. Just to see Goku and Vegeta look at a parallel world of what could have been if Beerus never showed up. And to answer your fourth question, one movie character that I would love to have appear, I would say Broly, but I think that I would lean more towards Cooler. Cooler was such an arrogant piece of crap, egotistical maniac. He hated his brother. He hated the Saiyans. He was very nonchalant, but he was also such a brash individual compared to Frieza. And he even said it when he fought Goku. He was like, my brother was a pest. I would have killed him myself sooner or later. So I was like, holy shit. So I would definitely have the Cooler saga to where we revolve an entire, arc around him, and him not necessarily caring about his brother or his family, but him doing things on his own terms and having to, just follow orders the way he wants it done, and just, what his ultimate goals are, per se. But aside from Cooler, I can't really think of anyone else. I mean, Broly would have been good, but Broly has no character development. It just would have been him coming back to Earth, just screaming out Kakarot, and just that would have been the whole story. So I don't think that would have fit, quite well. But I'm gonna have to go with Cooler here. And to answer your final question, if you're talking about Ultimate Gohan, then Gohanku. Gohanku definitely stomps out Vegeta Trunks, because Ultimate Gohan and Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Super Saiyan Future Trunks during the Dragon Ball Z arc. That shit leans way towards Goku and Gohan. But if we're talking about like current Gohan and Goku versus current Vegeta and Trunks and Super, then Vegeta Trunks wins because of Trunks' massive power boost and Vegeta's insane power boost when he trained in the time chamber and stuff. So that all depends on like which version of like Gohanku and Vegeta Trunks we're talking about here. But if it's Dragon Ball Z, then Goku and Gohan. If it's Dragon Ball Super, then Vegeta and Trunks. But anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions, and I hope you have a very awesome day. And once again, everybody, thank you all for watching this edition of the Dragon Ball Q&A video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want another video, if you guys want another Dragon Ball Q&A video to drop either today or tomorrow, let's try to hit this video up with 1,000 likes. 1K is all I'm asking for, so that'll be really cool to see. If that's the case, then I might as well just get on the ball right now and start answering your questions. But thank you all for watching. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you guys want to watch previous Q&A videos, I will link them all down below. And don't forget to check out my vlogging channel, in which case the giveaway is going to end today for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, and you guys might want to go ahead and pick up on that. So all I can say to that, guys, is thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Tune in for the next video, and I'll be seeing you all down in the comment section below. Take it easy, guys, and God bless. Peace!